What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some very high elo gameplay in the Catch Cup submitted to the channel by Zeislig27, who's in the 3200s running a very glassy triple shadow team with Sneasler, Excadrill and a Lowland Sandslash. This team is triple weak to ground, but this trainer was able to play around that weakness very well in a lot of these battles. So with that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. What has been your hidden gem pick for the current Catch Cup meta? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle is Shadow Sneasler into Arctibax. Now, of course, we are a fighting type, but we don't have a fighting type fast move, so we save swap into our Shadow Excadrill and we bait out a Quagsire. Now, Quagsire does core break the entire team, but with an energy advantage, we can actually grab shields and potentially flip this matchup in the 2-shield scenario, but they are running Aqua Tail. They will be very quick to get to the charge moves. We're going to go for drill run number 2. We do grab a shield from the opponent, and at this point, we are going to possibly just let the Excadrill go down. Yes, exactly that. Aqua Tail does take us out. We come in with the Sneasler. We've seen Aqua Tail already. They might not have Mud Bomb, but actually they do. They fully take us out there, and it is all up to a Lowland Sandslash in the back. We are running Powder Snow, by the way. Doesn't make a difference in this matchup since both Powder Snow and Shadow Claw are neutral, but here we're going to let the charge move go through. The opponent goes for an Avalanche. That is double resisted, but it does, I believe, do slightly more damage than a Dragon Claw, and luckily for us, well, I say luckily, it's kind of based on a lot of the teams that we're seeing, there is a Clodsire in the back. Clodsire going to be very common in this meta because it is a new Pokemon, a very strong Pokemon in the current Open Great League meta, and a lot of people have built one recently. So here we're going to shield out. All we got to do is make sure the opponent doesn't make that catch. We did wait for one turn. Very nice gameplay, and now we can go straight for the drill run. Either charge move would take out the Clodsire, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see another Arctibax in the lead, so we are going to once again save swap into our Shadow Excadrill, and the opponent stays in this time. We actually don't throw a move straight away there, possibly not wanting the opponent to make a catch, and they do eventually swap into a Skeledirge. Now, this isn't too good for us, but we have a massive energy advantage, so we will be able to make it to back-to-back drill runs and potentially grab both shields from the opponent, and we do exactly that. Now, we come in with our Shadow Sneasler, and we are going to let the... oh no, we're going to shield the first move here, and we will be able to go for an Air Relay straight away, throwing just before they make it to the next charge move. Air Relays takes them out from that range. We come in with our Sandslash, and the opponent is staying in with the Arctibax, so it might be another similar scenario to the previous game where they've got a Clodsire in the back. Once again, they do go for the Avalanche. We choose to overfarm in this matchup, go for an Ice Punch. Ice Punch will be taking out the Arctibax from this range, and they've actually got a Shadow Haunter in the back. Drill Run will easily one-shot the Haunter, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see Clodsire in the lead this time around, so not the worst matchup ever, but we're going to swap anyways into our Excadrill, and the opponent responds with a Conkeldurr. We go straight for the drill run. That does huge damage, and we actually flip the matchup there, and we are close to another charge move, so if they come back in with the Clodsire, we barely miss out on that second drill run. That would have been absolutely amazing, but now we come in with our Lowland Sandslash. Now, one thing to note is they are running Mud Shot on their Clodsire, and as well, it looks like they're running Stone Edge for coverage as well, but we are going to shield up the next move. The opponent double baits with Stone Edge, either that or they're actually running Sludge Bomb and Stone Edge, which would be quite an interesting moveset, but we go for the Ice Punch, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and the opponent makes a really nice catch onto their Medicham. Ice Punch, not going to do too much damage. We swap back into our Shadow Sneasler, and we will be able to make it to an Aerial Ace. This should just be an Ice Punch, so we can just fully let it go through, and we're actually going to commit to a full Shadow Claw farm down. We get the farm down. We come out with nearly 2 close combats loaded. We go for the first one. We're only going to get off one charge move. That nearly takes them out, and we get the Powder Snow farmed out. Perfect gameplay there from this trainer. Into the next battle, we see a Quagsire in the lead. Now, in the lead, this is really difficult to deal with. We are going to shield the first charge move, and the opponent is running Mud Bomb. They do go for it straight away, so that is good to know. We're going to go for an Aerial Ace as the opponent makes it to their next Mud Bomb. Not an awful lot we can do here. We are going to grab a shield from the opponent, though, and we're going to double shield in this lead matchup. There is no way in even shield scenarios we win that matchup, but the opponent gives up switch advantage. We're quite slow to swap out, but we will live a dig from full health, and because we are running Powder Snow, we are dealing massive damage with the fast moves. Unfortunately, not quite able to get the farm down there, so we throw on the CMP tie, winning CMP, taking out the Gligar with an Ice Punch, and we have another charge move to throw straight away into the Quagsire coming back in. This might grab a shield back from the Quagsire. No, they just let it go through, knowing that Sneasler is going to do a lot more damage with its charge moves. We go for an Aerial Ace throwing just before they make it to the next move. We swap into our Excadrill. We're kind of just sacrificing it at this point, and a Mud Bomb will easily one-shot the Excadrill. We have an Aerial Ace loaded, but there's not a lot in the back that we can beat with such low health on our Sneasler. They have probably the best option in Superior, but they're still able to Vine Whip farm us down, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But into the next game, we see an Oikalone in the lead here, and we should be able to make it to a close combat as the opponent makes it to a Body Slam. But we're going to bait with an Aerial Ace, grabbing a shield, and we're going to swap into Excadrill, hoping to catch that Body Slam, but unfortunately we're not able to do so. The opponent is now going to go for a Body Slam bait anyways before swapping into a Jellicent, but we have a massive energy advantage. We will be able to make it to 2 drill runs before the opponent can get off a Surf, and this is really nice as we will be able to grab a shield back from the opponent. At this point, they can overfarm, and they do overfarm perfectly, farming to the back-to-back Surfs and also farming as just before we make it to that drill run, but we will win the CMP tie here. So this might grab the shield from the opponent. No, they actually let... Oh, wait, what am I talking about? They have no shields remaining. We're going to swap, and we catch the next Body Slam onto our Sandslash. Really lovely play there. Body Slam going to be resisted. The opponent then comes in with their Clodsire. They are running Mud Shot and a drill run. Not going to be enough damage to take them out, but it does do slightly more damage than the Ice Punch, and we're only making it to 1 charge move. The opponent does rightly overfarm in this matchup. Earthquake takes out the Sandslash, and now we've got to think about what we want to do here. We're going to come in with the Sneasler, and we make it to the Aerial Ace just about in time. Aerial Ace will be enough damage to take out the Clodsire. We swap back into Excadrill, and we make it to the Drill Run. Drill Run will be actually not taking out the Oikalone in this matchup, but they have to throw a charge move to take us out. I wonder if they could have committed to the Tackle Farm down there. That probably was the win condition, but like that, we're able to Shadow Claw, farm them down, and take that game. Into the next game, we see Galarian Stunfisk in the lead, so another very tricky lead matchup. We're going to build up to the close combat, bait with an Aerial Ace, and then we're probably going to have to swap out eventually, and we do swap into our Shadow Excadrill. The opponent does have quite a lot of energy, so we're going to shield straight away, and they do bait with a Rock Slide. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my voice at the moment here, but here we go for a second drill run, grabbing the shield from the opponent, and now we are going to double shield. The opponent once again goes for a Rock Slide bait, really unfortunate. But they throw again. I'm sure this is too early for another Earthquake, and it is just another Rock Slide. They then swap into Water Gun Lantern. We're going straight for the Drill Run. Drill Run doesn't quite take them out, but one more Mud Shot does the job, and they come back in, and we come in with our Shadow Alolan Sandslash, and once again, they're not even farming to the Earthquake. I'm really confused about this. Maybe it's a single move Stunfisk, but this is like the 3200, so that would be quite an odd choice. But here we're going to go for an Ice Punch. Ice Punch takes out the Stunfisk, and they've got Alolan Ninetales in the back there, and I'm not sure if we threw 2 Powder Snows or if we just lagged, but that was kind of strange timing. We are now unfortunately not able to make it to another Ice Punch, and this is really tricky. I think we need to make a catch here. We go for the catch, but we're not able to make that catch. The opponent does overfarm, and I think we just stopped the recording there as we knew it was a loss, but well played by that opponent. And into the next game, we're going to see a Quagsire in the lead once again. Probably the trickiest lead we can see. We lost to the previous Quagsire lead. Let's see if we make any adaptations to somehow overcome this matchup. Now, this opponent actually baits with an Aqua Tail, so we recognize they're probably just going to go straight Aqua Tail, and we swap into our Sandslash, but unfortunately they went for Mud Bomb there. They did react in time, and that was a very good play by the opponent. Now they can just go for the Aqua Tail, take us out, and we have got them fairly low, but we are down a shield, so let's see what we want to do here. We will be able to make it to the Aerial Ace, throwing on the CMP tie, and the opponent might just let the Quagsire go down at this point, and they do exactly that. They come in with a Clodsire, and now we're going to go for the Aerial Ace, and then that will put them into range where a Drill Run will take them out. So we swap immediately into the Excadrill, and the opponent does outpace us to a charge move. We call that it is just a bait, and it's a Stone Edge, which is perfect for us. And now we overfarm, throwing on the CMP tie, and a Drill Run from this range will take out the Clodsire, but unfortunately they've got a Shadow Venusaur in the back. We make it to back-to-back moves, but the Vine Whip damage will take us out before we get off the second charge move, and that unfortunately is game over for us, and the opponent's able to take that game. Internet's going to see Bombardier in the lead, so not a great melee matchup. We're going to swap into our Escadrille and we bait out a Quagsire once again. So Escadrille is baiting out a lot of Quagsires that obviously our team doesn't do very well against, but with a slight energy advantage, this isn't the worst matchup ever. As we've already seen, they go for the Aquatel, we go for the drill run, and it looks like a CMP tie. And if that is the case, then that is the perfect scenario. At this point, we can just happily let the Escadrille go down. Aquatel takes us out. Hopefully we can get the Shadow Claw farm down in time. We're barely not able to do so, but this will just be another Aquatel, so we can survive that. We let it go through and we make it to the close combat, and this will do big damage if they let it go through. It actually one-shots the Bombardier, and they've got Arctibax in the back, and this should be game over for the opponent. There's not a lot they can do. We can go straight for Ice Punch. Ice Punch not going to do too much damage, but it does put them into range where we can farm them down. Although Dragon Breath has got us really low already, honestly it probably would be better to go straight drill run in this matchup. The opponent makes it to a last second charge move. Avalanche isn't enough to take us out, and we're able to take that game. Internet's going to see Shadow Dragonair in the lead, going to say swap into Excadrill, and we actually go for a rock slide here. The reason probably being that if the opponent tries to swap and make a catch there, they're quite likely to swap into something that resists the drill run. So I like this play. The opponent goes for the Aquatail, and then they swap into a Lantern with Water Gun. So they are fast move farming us down, but we do make it to the drill run, and actually they let that go through, and that allows us to flip the matchup. That is amazing for us. And now at this point, I think the play is to come in with Sneasler. Obviously, Alolan Sandslash does better, but it also does much better up against the Dragonair. So I like this play. We're going straight for the close combat, and close combat doesn't do much damage. It is resisted, but it doesn't really matter. And this Earthquake will be one-shotting the Sneasler. We didn't really need it anyways. We come in with the Sandslash, and the opponent makes it to another charge move. We're going to shield up. It is a Sludge Bomb bait, unfortunately. They come back in with the Dragonair, but this is absolutely fine with us. We farm to nearly 100 energy, go for the Ice Punch, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and at this point, we can let this move go through, and we should be able to farm to the back-to-back Ice Punches here. Actually, we farmed to just one before, but it doesn't really matter. Ice Punch will be taking out the Dragonair, and we make it to a second Ice Punch in time, and this will be enough damage to take out the Clodsire, and we're able to take that game. Internet's going to see Jellicent in the lead, so this is a fairly decent matchup for us, and the opponent is going to farm up. They do throw after they reach a Shadow Ball, so we're going to respect the damage here. They bait with a Surf. Honestly, Surf probably nearly takes us out anyways. They make a nice catch onto Toxapex, but once again, Aerial Ace will put them into range where a Drill Run will KO. So we're going to come in with the Excadrill, go for that Drill Run straight away, throwing on the CMP tie, and we take out the Toxapex there. Huge damage from the Excadrill. And let's see what the opponent wants to do. They come back in with the Jellicent, and they overfarm, and that allows us to make it to the Drill Run in time. Actually, I don't believe they did overfarm there. I think it did cost them 3 more hexes to make it to that Surf. Actually, no, they did overfarm because they threw a Surf straight away. Doesn't really matter here. Unfortunately, we don't get off the charge move there. We're going to use our shield as the opponent goes for another Surf. They try and make another catch. We go for a close combat, and once again, this isn't going to do too much damage, but it hopefully will put them into range where we can take them out with an Ice Punch on our Sandslash. We're actually staying in this matchup. I'm kind of confused as to why that is, but then we're able to swap, and if we just caught a Sludge Bomb, that is a crazy play. What a play by this trainer, but they do make it to the Earthquake in time. That's really frustrating. Earthquake takes us out. We get the Shadow Claw farm down, but this Jellicent will be able to make it to a last second Surf. That was nearly the perfect play there, but Surf takes us out, and unfortunately we do lose that game. Internet's going to see Trevenant in the lead. Very nice shiny there. I've actually not seen this at all in the Go Battle League, so very cool flex from the opponent. We're going to go for an Aerial Ace, grabbing a shield from the opponent, also a CMP tie. We're going to use our shield here as the opponent goes for a Seed Bomb, and we can try to commit to the full Shadow Claw farm down. We're not quite able to do so. The opponent swaps into Steelix, but we go straight for the close combat, one-shotting these Steelix from full health. Have you ever seen that? And now we can come in with our Excadrill, knowing that the Excadrill is going to do slightly worse up against that Trevenant, although it doesn't really matter. Trevenant has like 1 or 2 HP remaining. We're going to go for that Drill Run, and Drill Run is going to do, well, it would have done big damage, but the opponent uses their shield, and we are going to shield as well. We've got to be careful of a potential catch by the opponent, but they don't make that catch there. So we can go for the Drill Run. Drill Run does big damage to the Umbreon, and we are going to swap and catch a move onto our Sandslash. We also bank the Drill Run there, and the opponent is going to over farm, go for another charge move. We've got to be very careful. I think we just throw straight away at this point as the opponent isn't able to get to that charge move, and we can go for the Ice Punch, taking out the Trevenant, and we should be able to take out the Umbreon as well, so the opponent just concedes the match there. Internet's going to see Altaria in the lead, so not ideal. Going to save swap into Excadrill, and the opponent responds with a Medicham. And now we're going to go straight for a Drill Run. Drill Run is going to do big damage in this matchup, but they can very comfortably fast move farm us all the way down, and it's not looking too good for us. We're obviously going to have to come in with the Sneasler. They will be able to make it to a Psychic, so we're going to have to use our shield here. And the opponent does full send the Psychic, which does mean they don't make it to another charge move, which is quite nice. We're now going to go for a close combat, and this will kill the Switch Clock. And now we can swap back into our Alolan Sandslash. We get off one Powder Snow before they can swap out, and with Powder Snow, this is actually a positive matchup. But unfortunately, we are down a shield, so I don't think we're going to be able to win this game here. The opponent goes for the Body Slam straight away. We're going to let the first one go through. Body Slam not going to do much damage there, but it is the licks that will start to add up. Going to go for an Ice Punch up against the Licky Tongue, and the opponent is going to let that one go through. We probably have to shield this move here as they go for another Body Slam. We might try and make a catch onto our Sneasler. I think that's probably the only win condition at this point. We go for the Ice Punch, and the opponent is already at the next Body Slam, so we're not able to make a catch. Body Slam will be taking us out, and unfortunately the opponent will be able to just fast move, farm us down. We go for the Aerial Ace. We need this to KO, but it doesn't quite take them out, and the opponent makes it to a Sky Attack. Sky Attack will be enough damage to take out the Sneasler, and unfortunately we lose that game. But Internet's going to see Clodsire in the lead, so not that bad of a matchup, but we're going to swap anyways. And the opponent is running Poison Sting. That is triple resisted. That is really good for us. Of course, an Earthquake one-shots us regardless, but I mean, with the Mud Shot damage, they probably put us into range where they can potentially start going for Sludge Bomb in the 2-shield scenario. But here, up against an Arctibax that swaps in, we've got so much energy. We can go straight for a Rock Slide, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and we make it to Rock Slide number 2. This should be grabbing the final shield from the opponent, and it does exactly that. Now the opponent's going to throw just before we make it to Rock Slide number 3. Good timing by the opponent, and Dragon Claw does take us out. We come in with our Alolan Sandslash. We can safely let any move go through. We've already seen Alolan Sandslash will be core breaking both the Arctibax and the Clodsire in the back, so it just depends what the opponent has in the back. We're actually going to undercharge this Ice Punch. The opponent swapped into the Clodsire. It still takes them out though, and let's see what the opponent has in the back. They come in with a Charger Bug. We're going to bank a bit of energy there, swap into our Shadow Sneasler, and even though it's resisted damage, I think if we shield this and go for a close combat, it should be enough damage to just fully take them out from this range. We're full sending the close combat, and it does take out the Charger Bug, and we make it to an Aerial Ace up against the Arctibax, and this will be taking out the Arctibax, and we take that game. Into the next game, really rough lead leading into Pelipper, and Pelipper will be able to take out both the Sneasler and the Excadrill, so really not ideal for us whatsoever. The opponent tries to catch a Rock Slide there. We're going for a Drill Run, but unfortunately they get a 0-turn swap, meaning they CMP tie us here. It would have been really nice if we got off that charge move before they got off theirs, but they go for an Aqua Tail, and at this point we can flip switch advantage. They are so low here that we go for a Rock Slide. Rock Slide takes them out there. They didn't want to use their shield. They've already got a 2-shield advantage. That is probably the best option for the opponent here, as they can come in with the Pelipper, potentially just double shield and fully farm us down at this point, and that might be exactly what they do. Instead, we're going to swap into our Sandslash. The opponent has a Clodsire in the back, and once again, we're going to go for the Drill Run here, only making it to 1 charge move, and this will do slightly more damage. The opponent lets it go through. There's not a lot we can do here, unfortunately. Earthquake will be taking out the Sandslash. We can come in with our Sneasler, but yeah, I just can't see a win condition for us. We're not going to be able to Shadow Claw farm them down. We're going to overfarm as much as we possibly can, but it's just not going to be enough, unfortunately. Aerial Ace takes out the Clodsire. They make it to a Weather Ball, and it looks like we tried to stop the recording there as we've given up, but they full send a Hurricane. We're going for the BM Drill Run just for the sake of it, but the opponent can safely shield this up, go for the Wing Attack farm down, and we do unfortunately lose that game. Internet's going to see Medicham in the lead, so this is great to see it in the lead matchup. I think they probably do slightly beat us in the 0-shield scenario. Aerial Ace won't be enough to take them out here, but we do grab that shield, and the more shields that are used, the better this matchup is for the Sneasler. unless they're running Power Up Punch, which this opponent is. We're quite slow to swap out there, but we do eventually swap into our Sand Slash, go straight for the Ice Punch before the opponent throws any of their energy, and this will put them into farm down range, but 2 Weather Balls will nearly take us out here. So gonna let the first one go through. Are we going to let the next one go through? No, we're going to shield this up, and hopefully we can just fully Powder Snow, farm them down, and we do get that farm down, which is really nice. The opponent going to come back in with their Medicham. And we're going straight for the Drill Run, and once again, Drill Run going to do a bit more damage than the Ice Punch. The opponent lets it go through, we swap, we try to snipe with our Sneasler, but the opponent catches the Aerial Ace onto their Gligar. All shields are now down. We do at least make it to a second Aerial Ace, which is good news for us. This should be grabbing a shield from the opponent, but it's not looking too good for us here. We are going to come in with the Sand Slash, and we do force the opponent to throw their energy, which is great, and that hopefully means we can outpace them to a charge move on our Excadrill. It's going to be close, but we get there on the CMP tie, and this Rock Slide will take out the Gligar. Medicham is fairly low. They make it to a charge move, but this should just be a Power Up Punch. Power Up Punch doesn't take us out. The Mud Shot damage takes out the Medicham, and somehow we take that game. Into next game, we see Arctopax in the lead, so once again, going to save swap into our Shadow Excadrill, and the opponent responds with their Shadow Quagsire, but once again, quite slow to swap out here. We can go straight for a Drill Run, and if the opponent lets this go through, which they do, we can flip this matchup now. We're going to use our shield here as they go for an Aqua Tail. We can go and overfarm. Actually, no, we throw straight away. It looks like we couldn't overfarm in that case, but we go for the Drill Run, grabbing a shield from the opponent, CMP tie, but that's fine. We can double shield, and we will be able to flip this matchup, as we can now just Mud Shot, farm down the Quagsire, and let's see, the opponent comes back in with their Arctopax, so we're going straight for a Rock Slide. This should be grabbing the final shield back from the opponent, and now we're looking to be in a pretty good position. We can come in with our Shadow Sand Slash. The opponent can only throw resisted moves here, so we can happily let this move go through. Dragon Claw doesn't do too much damage here. There's no point throwing just yet because a charge move won't take them out from this range. The opponent goes for another Dragon Claw. We're going to overfarm and finally go for the Drill Run, and at this point, Drill Run should be enough damage to take out the Arctopax, and the opponent has a Clodsire in the back, and they are running Poison Sting, so they need to throw a charge move to take us out. Drill Run going to do some big damage there, and we will swap just before they make it to the charge move. I like that play because that was the time that made the most sense for the opponent to throw. They go for the Earthquake, but we're just one away from the next charge move. Sludge Bomb probably doesn't take us out from that range. Well, actually, it probably would, to be honest there. We were very low, but we take them out with an Ice Punch, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, we see Quagsire in the lead, so once again, not a great lead for us to see. We're going to go for the charge move. No, we're actually going to swap into our Sand Slash, so we have adapted how we play this out, and the opponent baits with an Aqua Tail, so pretty good for us there. We can live that quite comfortably, and if this is just another Aqua Tail, we can live that as well and make it to a Drill Run. They're probably going to outpace us to the next charge move, so no point going for the Ice Punch. Drill Run does big damage here. They have to throw, otherwise we will make it to another move. And like that, we've got the Quagsire very low. We haven't used a shield either, so that's probably the best case scenario we could have got out of this matchup. We're now going to come back in with the Sneasler. We're going to throw just before they make it to the next move. I don't think the Shadow Claw farm down was on for us, and now we take them out. They come in with a Gligar. We've got our Shadow Excadrill in the back, and unfortunately, this isn't that great of a matchup, but we're going to shield up. The opponent goes for Aerial Ace in the 2-shield scenario. They probably can just go straight Aerial Ace. I have played this out a few times. Excadrill really doesn't tank an Aerial Ace that comfortably, but we're going for Rock Slide number 2. Rock Slide will be grabbing the first shield from the opponent, and they do overfarm. At this point, we're going to let the Excadrill go down. Dig takes us out, and they do have quite a lot of energy, so they make it to another charge move. We're going to shield, but I don't think there's much we can be in the back. We're just going to full send the close combat just in case they no shield for whatever reason, but they do use their shield. They get the farm down, and unfortunately, we lose that game. But into the next game, we see Lickitung in the lead. Now, this is an awkward matchup. Close combat basically one-shots them, but we deal absolutely no fast move pressure at all with the Shadow Claws. So we swap into Excadrill, and we bait out a Gligar once again. With an energy advantage, this isn't too bad for us. So we're going to shield up the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace, honestly, you can see already the wing attack damage alone has got us into the yellow health, which is crazy because that is resisted damage. But we make it to the back-to-back Rock Slides. Probably going to grab both shields here. And no, the opponent actually just lets us flip switch advantage, which is really nice for us. I mean, to be honest, it probably didn't matter too much just because we can technically get rid of this Lickitung, but it's just a bit of an awkward matchup with our Sneasler. So let's see what we do. We're going to come back in with the Sneasler here. We might try and catch the Body Slam. We are barely not able to do so. We should live a Body Slam though, so we do let it go through. We're going straight for the close combat here. This will take out the Lickitung if they let it go through, which they do, and they've got a Venusaur in the back, and this is a great matchup for the Sandslash. So the opponent just concedes the match there. Into the next battle, we see Sneasler into Vigoroth. Okay, this is the worst thing we can possibly see. Vigoroth is just absolutely going to annihilate this entire team. I have no idea what we can do. I mean, I guess the best play is to play out the 2-shield scenario here, but I just can't see us winning this. Even then, we're only going to make it to an Aerial Ace after the 3rd charge move, so yeah, not great for us. We're going to use our shield as they go for a Body Slam. And so we're going to overfarm once again, going for a close combat this time around. This will obviously take out the Vigoroth, but the opponent uses their shield and they can just go for the Body Slam. Body Slam will be taking us out. We come in with their control, and they've also got a Medicham. What on earth is this team? I guess it's working very well up against our team, so we go for the drill run. They will be able to fast move, farm us down. So we swap out into our Sandslash. Psychic doesn't take us out. We make it to the Ice Punch, and we will at least be able to get rid of the Medicham, but they've still got a very healthy Vigoroth. They get the counter farm down, they counter farm down the Excadrill, and we do lose that game. But into the next game, we see a Carbink in the lead, so we are going to stay in this matchup initially, probably just go for a close combat and then swap out. I like this play because this can do a ton of damage, even to the very bulky Carbink. We actually grab a shield there, and the opponent comes in with Medicham. Now, we've got a shield advantage. We're looking to be in a pretty good position here. We can go for a drill run. Drill run is going to do big damage to the Medicham. We actually grab both shield from the opponent this early in the battle. Interesting shield usage by the opponent here, but let's see. We come in with our Shadow Sneasler, and we are going to shield in this matchup as the opponent is going to go for an Ice Punch bait, but we do make it to the Aerial Ace, and hopefully this is enough damage from this range to take out the Medicham, and it is. And now the opponent comes in with their Carbink. We are going to shield this up at the last second. It is just a Rock Slide, and we can now go for a close combat, but no, we bank the energy, and we come in with our Shadow Alolan Sandslash. Now, Rock Slide is neutral damage. It does a fair bit of damage here. We can go for a drill run. This won't quite be enough to take them out from this range, I do believe, but we can get the Powder Snow farm down. No, we actually had to throw there, and it looks like a CMP tie, so yeah, we had to throw. We go for the Ice Punch. They've got a Guzzlord in the back. They get the farm down, but we banked that close combat, and close combat is easily gonna one-shot the Guzzlord, and we take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.